welcome back to the Hero English Podcast. I'm Jordan, and the weather here today is absolutely beautiful.
It really is. Hi, everyone. I'm Riley. And that's perfect, Jordan, because today we are talking all about weather and climate.
Oh, that's a great topic. Sometimes I get confused between those two words, weather and climate. Aren't they the same thing?
That's a super common question, and we are definitely going to clear that up for you today. We'll teach you some essential vocabulary to describe the natural phenomena we see outside your window.
Excellent. And what about our hero phrase? I love learning those.
Of course. Today's hero phrase is, it looks like it's going to. It's perfect for making predictions about the weather, and we'll show you a few ways to use it.
Fantastic. So we'll learn new words like drizzle and forecast. Listen to a natural dialogue and master the phrase, it looks like it's going to.
Exactly. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to talk about the weather like a native speaker. Are you ready to get started?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, let's start with our first word, humid. H-U-M-I-D. Humid describes when there is a lot of water vapor in the air. It can feel a bit sticky and heavy.
Oh, I know that feeling. Like in the summer, right before a thunderstorm. It feels hard to breathe sometimes.
Exactly. For example, you could say, I don't like summer in Florida because it's so hot and humid. Or, the air feels very humid today.
Okay, so can I say the weather has a lot of humidity?
You can, but it's much more natural to use the adjective and say the weather is very humid. Humidity is the noun, and humid is the adjective we use to describe the feeling.
Got it. The weather is humid. Easy enough. What's next?
Our second word is forecast, F-O-R-E-C-A-S-T. A forecast is a prediction of what the weather will be like in the future.
Like when I check the weather app on my phone?
Precisely. You could say, the forecast for tomorrow is sunny with a chance of rain. Or, did you check the weather forecast before you left the house?
Okay, yesterday I heard the weather forecast. They forecasted a big storm.
Ah, a very common mistake. The past tense of forecast is also forecast. It's an irregular verb. So you'd say, they forecast a big storm. No ed at the end.
Oh, that's tricky. Forecast, forecast, forecast. I'll remember that. Thanks, Riley. What's our last one?
Our last word is drizzle. D-R-I-Z-Z-L-E. Drizzle is a very light rain. It's more than mist, but less than a full shower.
So it's like when you don't really need an umbrella, but you still get a little wet?
That's the perfect description. For example, it wasn't raining hard, it was just a light drizzle. Or the game was canceled due to a persistent drizzle.
Okay, so what if it's light rain, but it's been happening for hours? Can I say it's drizzling a lot today?
That sounds a little unnatural because drizzle itself means a little. If it's more significant, you just say it's raining lightly. Drizzle implies it's both light and not a large amount.
I see, so drizzle is for very small rain only. Got it. Humid, forecast, and drizzle. These are great.
Hey Anna, are we still on for that hike this afternoon? I'm excited to get out into nature.
Hi, Tom. I was just about to message you. I'm looking at the weather now. Let me check the forecast one more time.
Okay. Feels really humid outside, like the air is thick or something. I hope a storm isn't coming.
You might be right. The forecast says there's a 50% chance of rain around 3 p.m. It doesn't say a big storm, though. More like a light drizzle.
A drizzle I can handle, but this humidity is making me think it could be worse. Let me look out the window. Yeah, those clouds are looking pretty dark.
Are they? Let me see. Oh, you're right. It looks like it's going to rain much sooner than the forecast predicted.
Totally. It definitely looks like a storm is brewing. I don't think hiking is a good idea anymore.
I agree. I don't want to get caught on the trail in the rain. What about we go to that new science museum instead? It's the perfect indoor activity.
That's a great idea, Anna. We can see the exhibit on natural phenomena. A different kind of nature today.
Perfect. And we can try the hike another day when the weather is better. It looks like this weekend is supposed to be sunny.
Sounds like a plan. I'll meet you at the museum entrance in about an hour.
See you there, Tom.
That was a great dialogue. Now let's expand on our weather theme with some common phrases. The first one is under the weather.
Under the weather? Does that mean standing in the rain?
Not quite. It's an idiom that means you're feeling sick or unwell. For example, I'm not going to work today. I'm feeling a bit under the weather.
Oh, that's so useful. I used to say, I feel sickish. Under the weather sounds much more natural. So it has nothing to do with the actual weather.
Correct. It's purely an idiom. Now for our second phrase, a cold snap. A cold snap is a sudden, short period of very cold weather.
Like in the fall when it's nice and warm and then suddenly 1 week it's freezing?
Exactly. You could say the weather was mild all month, but we're expecting a cold snap this weekend. It's usually a surprise.
That makes sense. Is there a similar phrase for hot weather, like a hot snap?
That's a great question. People would understand you, but the much more common term is our third phrase, a heat wave. A heat wave is a prolonged period of abnormally hot weather.
Ah, a heat wave. I've definitely heard that on the news. They always tell people to stay inside and drink water.
Yes. For example, the city opened cooling centers for people during the week-long heat wave. So a cold snap is usually short and sudden, while a heat wave can last for many days.
Under the weather, a cold snap, and a heat wave. I'm going to try using these this week. Okay, it's time for my favorite part, the hero phrase. Riley, let's break it down.
Let's do it. Our phrase is, it looks like it's going to... We use this to make a prediction based on what we see. For example, if you see dark clouds, you can say, it looks like it's going to rain.
And if you see clear skies and a bright sun, you could say, it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day.
Perfect. Now let's look at a few variations. You can shorten it. Instead of, it's going to rain, you can just say, it looks like rain. It's more casual.
Oh, I like that. Look at those clouds. It looks like a storm. Is that right?
Exactly. Another variation is using a different sense. If you feel a cold wind, you could say, it feels like it's going to get colder.
Okay, let's try some mini dialogues. Imagine we're coworkers. I look out the office window and say, wow, the sky is getting really dark.
I'd reply, yeah, it looks like it's going to pour. We should leave before it starts.
Great. Now let's be friends planning a picnic. You text me, the weather app says it's sunny all day.
And I could text back, awesome, it looks like it's going to be a perfect day for it.
I love how versatile it is. It looks like it's going to is such a useful phrase for everyday conversation.
It really is. Okay, Jordan, can you repeat the main phrase slowly for our listeners 3 times?
Of course. Ready? It looks like it's going to... It looks like it's going to... It looks like it's going to... You know, Riley, I understood the dialogue between Tom and Anna, but they spoke quite quickly. It's hard to catch every single word when it's at a natural speed.
I completely understand. That's a very common feeling for language learners. That's why we're going to play the same dialogue again, but this time much more slowly.
How does listening to it slowly help us improve?
Great question. It gives your brain more time to process the sounds. You can focus on the pronunciation of individual words, like humid or forecast. You can also hear the linking between words, like how looks like sounds like one smooth phrase.
Linking sounds is definitely something I need to work on.
Absolutely. Let's listen to the slow version.
Hey, Anna. Are we still on for that hike this afternoon? I'm excited to get out into nature.
Hi, Tom. I was just about to message you. I'm looking at the weather now. Let me check the forecast one more time.
Okay. It feels really humid outside, like the air is thick or something. I hope a storm isn't coming.
You might be right. The forecast says there's a 50% chance of rain around 3 p.m. It doesn't say a big storm, though, more like a light drizzle.
A drizzle I can handle, but this humidity is making me think it could be worse. Let me look out the window. Yeah, those clouds are looking pretty dark.
Are they? Let me see. Oh, you're right. It looks like it's going to rain much sooner than the forecast predicted.
Totally. It definitely looks like a storm is brewing. I don't think hiking is a good idea anymore.
I agree. I don't want to get caught on the trail in the rain. What about we go to that new science museum instead? It's the perfect indoor activity.
That's a great idea, Anna. We can see the exhibit on natural phenomena, a different kind of nature today.
Perfect. And we can try the hike another day when the weather is better. It looks like this weekend is supposed to be sunny.
Sounds like a plan. I'll meet you at the museum entrance in about an hour.
See you there, Tom.
So, Riley, I have a cultural question. I've noticed in movies and when I talk to native speakers that people talk about the weather all the time. Why is that?
That's a fantastic observation, Jordan. In many English-speaking cultures, especially in the UK and parts of North America, talking about the weather is a very common form of small talk.
Small talk? You mean just talking to be polite?
Exactly. It's a safe, neutral topic. You can talk about it with anyone. A stranger at a bus stop, a coworker in the elevator, or a new acquaintance at a party. It's a way to break the ice and start a conversation without getting too personal.
That's interesting. In many parts of Asia, we might comment on food or ask about someone's family more quickly. Weather isn't as big of a conversation starter.
Right, it's a cultural difference. Also, in places with very changeable weather, like England, the weather is genuinely a daily topic of interest. I remember when I lived in London, the forecast could be completely wrong. One minute it was sunny, the next a downpour. Everyone always had a comment about it.
I can imagine. I have a story about that. Where I grew up, we have a very distinct typhoon season. For a few months, the weather is the most important topic because it directly affects our safety. So when we talk about it, it's not small talk, it's serious business.
That's a perfect example of how the local climate shapes conversation. For us, a comment like, "It looks like it's going to rain," is a simple observation. For you, during typhoon season, a similar comment could be a serious warning.
So it's a good idea for learners to have a few weather phrases ready for easy conversations.
Absolutely. It's one of the easiest ways to start talking to people and practice your English in a low-pressure way.
It's time for our listener question. This one comes from Yuna in South Korea. Yuna writes, "Hi Jordan and Riley. I love the podcast. I am always confused about the difference between weather and climate. Can you explain it simply?"
That is a fantastic question, Yuna, and one we touched on at the start. I'm happy to explain it more deeply. The easiest way to think about it is with a simple analogy. Weather is like your mood, and climate is like your personality.
Oh, I like that. Mood and personality.
Exactly. Your mood can change from day to day or even hour to hour. Today you might be happy, tomorrow sad. That's like the weather. It describes the atmospheric conditions over a short period. Today it's sunny, tomorrow it might be rainy.
Okay, so weather is short term. What about climate?
Climate is like your personality. It's your typical pattern over a long time. You are generally a tearful person, for example. Climate describes the average weather conditions in a region over many years, usually 30 years or more. For example, the climate in the Amazon rainforest is tropical, hot and wet all year.
So let me try to summarize for Yuna. Weather is what's happening outside your window right now or this week. Climate is the pattern of weather over many, many years for a whole region.
That's a perfect summary. A famous saying is, climate is what you expect, weather is what you get. I hope that helps, Yuna. All right, Jordan, it's time for a quick quiz to see what you've learned. Are you ready?
I think so. Let's do it.
Question 1. If it's not really raining, but there are tiny drops of water falling, what is that called?
Oh, I know this one. That is a drizzle.
Correct. 1 for 1. Question 2. What's the idiom for when you feel sick?
It's related to weather. Under the weather.
Yes, you're on fire. 2 points. Okay, last question. True or false? The word forecast becomes forecasted in the past tense.
Ah, you're trying to trick me. I remember you corrected me, but I think you do add ed. So, true?
Almost. It's actually false. The past tense of forecast is just forecast. For example, yesterday they forecast sunshine. It's a tricky one.
I knew it was tricky. I'll get it right next time.
I know you will. Now it's your turn, listeners. Try to answer those questions out loud. How did you do?
And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us on the Hero English podcast.
We had a lot of fun talking about weather and climate today. We hope you learned a lot. Remember those key words: humid, forecast, and drizzle.
And don't forget our super youthful hero phrase, "It looks like it's going to." You can use it to talk about all kinds of natural phenomena.
For your homework this week, we have a simple task. Look out your window 3 times today and say what you see using our phrase. For example, it looks like it's going to be sunny, or it looks like the wind is picking up.
That's a great way to practice. And if you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing or leaving a review. It helps other learners find us.
Thanks again for listening. Join us next time when we'll be talking about vocabulary for ordering food in a restaurant.
Ooh, I'm hungry already. Until next time, keep learning.
You know, Riley, all this talk about bad forecasts reminds me of a disaster I had a few years ago. I was going to a really important job interview.
Oh no, I have a feeling I know where this is going.
I checked the forecast and it said clear skies, 0% chance of rain. So I wore my brand new light gray suit. I wanted to look really professional.
A very sharp look. I approve.
Well, I'm walking from the train station to the office building and suddenly the sky just opens up. It wasn't a drizzle, it was a downpour. There was nowhere to hide.
no, on the light gray suit.
I showed up completely soaked. My hair was dripping, my suit had dark, wet patches everywhere. I looked like I had just gone for a swim. The interviewer was very nice about it, but I did not get the job.
Oh, Jordan, that's terrible. The moral of the story is to never trust a 0% chance of rain. There's always a chance.
I learned my lesson. Now I always carry a tiny foldable umbrella in my bag, no matter what the forecast says.
A wise man. You and your suits are much safer now.